Dire.
Matchup about Beastmaster and how apparently both of these teams, despite being top tier, no doubt, somehow managed to lose with that hero, a feat that not many teams can claim right now. Robson, is there anything else noticeable about the draft before we jump in?
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like for Monaco Gambit, we can look on the fact that they've only really shown, I guess, one working strategy, which was the IO, and then other than that, they've felt pretty lost. So yeah, I need to see something new from Gambit, and we're already 3 picks deep, and this is something new. This is refreshing. We're seeing the Centaur Lion across now all regions. It's the Lion plus big offlaner, be it the Timbersaw, be it the Centaur, very stable stuff.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of moving factors this patch, but I think ranged carries such as the Luna, they beat me to my point before I even made it.
Speed running the draft.
Yeah, and it's very interesting how like sometimes one hero pool, like in this case the offlane hero pool, can bleed into every other role.
Okay, I've seen this Reddit thread. Why do pros keep picking Luna? Keeps losing.
Well, why? It loses, but I feel like pros like the hero because it gives you a strong timing. You can take the ancients quick, and you can play on the other side of the map very quickly, playing for objectives. The issue is it puts your team into a position of we have to play for this timing. Otherwise, the game can get pretty hard. So if they have the confidence in hitting their timings, hitting the beats, and playing their lanes well, it can be a good hero. But of course, we've seen time and time again, it's kind of fallen short.
I actually had a discussion with my Twitch chat about this because Luna's a funny hero. She farms really fast.
Yep.
But no matter how far farmed I am, I feel like I'm 1 or 2 deaths away from losing the game. Like, you never feed and go, yeah, we'll recover, just like retake the map. Luna's all about her fragility as a hero, makes it so that if she ever loses map control, her team has to follow her around as she farms, which means that nobody else on your team gets farmed, which inevitably means you have like Luna up here, and then everyone, or everyone else is like bottom 5 or 6 net worths, and it just means that Luna's not going to solo carry the game. So if you want to hit a timing with a hero that buffs up all her allies have to have a little something.
All right, so it's a 4 protect 1 strategy, but the 1 isn't like a true hard carry.
Yeah,
it's like a 1.5.
50 minutes into the game. It's meant to make you all strong enough at 30 minutes into the game to take a Roche and hit racks.
And this is why Na'Vi, they identified this style and they just pick up that casual Tidehunter. One of the best offlaners that can park himself in front of any kind of objective pressure. And touching on the Luna again, she farms Ancients early, she has objective pressure, might get a couple kills with Eclipse, but then the next timing after that is that ultra late game, Butterfly, Manta, Satanic +1. So I feel like Tidehunter is the perfect hero to play into the earlier power spikes of a Luna, so yeah.
Do you think we'll see the Deso build from V2 in this game? We saw him go Battle Fury in his other series, but the last 2 PAs I've seen yesterday both went Blight or Orb of Corrosion Deso.
I think in those games, in the Western Europe, we did have
5 seconds remaining.
Lil Shredder or Snapfire with the Solar Crest, and then we had a Slardar as well. So there was that clean way of taking Roshan, and I wouldn't be opposed to it because now there's a Tidehunter as well, so you have that minus armor for the for taking Roshan. I'm kind of leaning more towards PAs being fighters. So I like the Orb of Corrosion, I like the Deso pickup. 18-minute Aegis. Now you don't really care about not having a Battle Fury because you're actively seeking out these big kills that kind of cushions the fact that you're not hitting jungle creeps for that
5
extra
seconds
3-4
remaining.
minutes.
Feels like you just don't have that time to hit jungle this patch.
It's hard, yeah.
I feel so much more in tune with the meta here now that I've been stuck playing it, and it's just like I want to farm from 15 minutes to 18, but you just can't. You literally just can't. So I think that kind of explains why a lot of the PAs are opting for the death. So you are quite strong. You can like 3-shot supports 15 minutes in the game with just those 2 items.
Yeah, you kind of have 2 farming patterns right now, which is you have a flash farm jungle with big stacks where you could go run to them, clear them out quickly, move on, or you have the draft that has that perfect balance of the support can take over the safe lane, the carry can go jungle, but it's rare that you have those type of lineups because skirmishing is more prowess, and that naturally means that you don't have wave clear and lane pushes.
They just need a strong laning for. I think Rubik, if it's still in the pool, I think it got banned. Yeah, it got banned. Maybe Lena.
How about Shadow Demon? Oh, banned. Oh,
Shadow Shaman?
yeah.
How about Shadow Shaman? I wouldn't mind a Shadow Shaman here. It gives them a little more disabled. They don't really have tower push.
Is Willow available? I feel like they need a hero to play around the Stampede and kind of that movement because Oracle, if he jumps, he dies. You know, PA Puck, they're able to be elusive. I feel like they need one more element of you can't kill me straight away to make this Luna upset. Like how many?
Some coil synergy too.
Yeah. Okay, let's go for a Snapfire.
Well, that hero's still in the pool. You were talking about it though. The minus armor PA.
That unlocks the Deso build that we mentioned before.
Yeah, and it makes Tide's lane really strong too, right?
So
what kind of mid do you want with Luna?
10 seconds
Like
remaining.
if she falls off a bit, can you have more of a semi carry?
I actually like
mid,
DK a lot.
SF?
5
I actually like
seconds
DK a
remaining.
lot because it's good against PA, it's good against Puck, and I do want a semi carry.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hero.
Yeah, it was just too. I think they gave them that on a silver platter. I'm almost surprised they banned out the heroes like Viper because.
Oh, and with the Puck as well, yeah, of course. This is, yeah.
Yeah, because the Viper, you don't play up on the map. Viper isn't exactly tanky until he gets like 2 items. So this Luna has a super fragile window between like 8 and 15 where she really can't exert any pressure on the map unless somebody else on her team can exert pressure, where she shows up to a fight late and that guy is the one that gets initiated onto or starts the fight himself. So DK just synergizes really well with this. It gives them a hero that's going to put some tower pressure, going to move early. Centaur is relatively stagnant in terms of the laning movements and all that kind of stuff. So I like their draft a lot better.
Also a hero with pointy horns. All 5 of their heroes have some sort of pointy horns of some kind, whether it's their ears.
I guarantee
their
at least
antlers,
100
their
people.
helmet.
What would you call that draft?
Before you?
The
Horny draft.
pointy
Thanks, Brian.
horn.
Yeah, so I actually think that
knew what he was
Gambit.
going for.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. So I think Gambit they have a really solid forward-moving lineup where they can play around objectives, but the key thing is execution now. If the DK crosses the river, tries to hit that tier 1 alone, Puck Coil comes in, they collapse, they kill him. DK's game can get a bit awkward. So Gambit has the better entry into the game, but if they make a couple mistakes, then the scaling of Na'Vi just comes into full effect. You have Tidehunter, you have Puck. These are the best anti-aggression heroes. So it's kind of offense v defense, and it's can Gambit execute with their offense?
Ryan, fast prediction.
DK. all the way.
Okay, fair enough.
Simple.
Nice and simple from Brian. Let's go ahead and check in with our commentators. Moxie and Purge, they've been a great duo all week long. We're going to see them again.
That's very succinct coming out of Brian there. DK all the way, but I'm liking the draft coming out from the side here of Na'Vi with that negative armor strat. And I've yet to see a Luna, or at least cast a game with Luna that has been successful. What do you think, Purge?
Yeah, I think Luna's a really cool hero. She has a lot of stuff going for her, but you know, her ultimate, her Lucent Beams have felt a little bit weak lately. And from a carry potential, she just doesn't scale as well as some other carries because she doesn't have the ability to just blow heroes up by herself in a team fight in a late game. It's just more complicated, but great sieger. She does a lot of AoE damage. There's a lot of good things she has going for her, but I really like the minus armor strat. I think that's pretty cool. In the lane, level 4 or level 1 Gush is -4 armor. Lil Shredder will do up to -5 armor plus the Blightstone. I'm sorry, he doesn't have a Blightstone, but still, it is good harass potential, especially once they
30
get the Deso
seconds to
later on.
battle.
With that said, B-Tune's already queued up a Battle Fairy, so maybe just supposed to look like a minus armor strat.
It's possible. It could also go back later on, pick up a Deso, but you know, at least that lane, right? That lane is going to be terrifying with the Snapfire and the Tidehunter for sure. But a lot of pressure resting over on the shoulders of this Luna. He's gonna have to be able to get that farm, and the rest of the team is just gonna have to try to make that space for her because she is a bit fragile. It takes a while to come online.
yeah, your raw HP is not super high for a while, and that you kind of feel like you need DK to protect yourself, otherwise people just burst you. And if they force fights where there's creeps around, then your ultimate just doesn't feel good. There's just a lot of ifs that Luna has to deal with that makes their life hard. But looks like she's going to start in a tri-lane. This is a great circumstance for Luna. Classically, when tri-lanes were more common, Luna was one of the best carries because of the fact that she could skill her aura at level 1, and it gives bonuses to 2 other heroes in addition to herself. So tri-lane versus tri-lane situations, Luna's pretty strong, so she should be completely fine in terms of getting off to a good start here with the tide heading top.
The other thing, too, to keep in mind is the fact that if they do try to send too many heroes up to try to mess with this Luna, they have Elder Titan. Elder Titan, one of the better heroes in dealing with any sort of tri-lane situation, loves having more units to walk that spirit through. So Navi has to be a little bit careful in their considerations with the laning, but it definitely feels like AS Monaco Gambit have a decent idea of how they want to work this laning stage, at the very least.
Yep, get the Luna ahead. Use that to start pressuring towers with Dragonite. Centaur being in the game is very strong for them. The more I watch, the more I think Centaur is very strong right now. It's picked almost every game. And once he finishes Vanguard, it feels like pretty much nothing can touch him. Unless you have a Maledict plus a lot of magic bursts, he's just not going to die. So he basically just gets to do whatever he wants. He bullies your carry out of their lane every single time, and then he goes to important towers, and he just like is so powerful and difficult to kill and takes so many heroes that enemy teams just ignore him basically and let him take your towers. So with that said, if Centaur gets a decent Vanguard at a normal time, and the Luna gets off to a good start, and they have Dragonite get a Blink Dagger at a reasonable time, we're gonna see some crazy good tempo coming from AS Monaco Gambit.
I mean, what can they really hope to do, though, to really mess with the Centaur? Oh, yeah, Luna has not a great win right there. I didn't get to see the exact numbers, but was not looking too hot.
Best time to break its Vanguard. So right now would be a decent time. We saw a game like that last night against Mind Control. We had the jungle a little bit more than we normally would have expected out of the hero, but he still got Vanguard, and then he still recovered, and he still had super high net worth, so it's fine. But yeah, you'd have to like pressure him in lane or kill him a little bit here. But with Seneko being in the lane, it shouldn't be that hard for him. I'm not worried for him at all.
This is interesting that they have opted to go for a tri-lane down here with Seneko. Just on the Elder Titan, the fact that, you know, I just literally said, you know, he really thrives in these situations, especially when you can have these camps over to the side that you can stack, get even more, you know, capability to just harass using your Astral Spirit. 38% in the DPC, 18%. Oof.
18 in DPC, yeah. It's not good. It's not looking good for Luna right now. The reason they rotated down the Oracle is because he's a hard counter to Elder Titan. You can dispel his Astral Spirit, effectively making him a level 1 hero that doesn't have any other benefits to him. So that's why I always want to fight transition right away. It would have made Snapfire a little bit too useless, and as a result, Snapfire will not rotate to top lane. So hypothetically, they can't swap anymore. Seneko already TP'd to the bot lane, so he can't counter this rotation even if Lion could shift. So this should be completely fine for Navi. This is what they want.
All right, well, pretty standard here in the mid lane. A little bit of a lead here for the Dragon Knight. 9 and 3 currently CS, 6 and 2 on Iceberg. But of course, it is going to be very important that the first time that this Dragon Knight goes for the Dragon form, once he hits at level 6, that we see some sort of a rotation come out from the side of Navi to respond to it.
You see, actually, nobody go for water runes coming from the support, so that's going to give Ice free choice. Pick which one he wants. He's able to, as a result, buy time to get his bottle first before he bottles it up. I guess both players do have bottle now, so no huge loss here. But yeah, the side lane's just pretty important, apparently, to stabilize at the moment.
Afterlife seems like he's having a perfectly fine time, as Seneko is forced to head back here. Does not have any regen other than the Ring of Regen, so it's going to just wander on back, and I'm sure teleport back into the lane.
You know, it'd be a little expensive to do this, but he saves the tango. Basically, you would have to use all 3 charges just to get back up to full, so it wouldn't be worth it. And for now, it's just a Centaur anyways, so for now, it's not going to be a big deal. Give him a little space. Centaur's almost having health.
You know what? Has it been... Oh gosh, I didn't realize. I forgot that was a taunt for Luna. I remember the one where she like has the she spins the thing, right? She's got her glaive that she spins, and just I did not know that there is this. I forgot about this one with the cat. Yeah. Boy, that's annoying. And I love cats. This is oh dear, Valve.
Most taunts are pretty annoying, I gotta say. Once you hear more than like once, you're like, okay, that's enough. Please stop.
Yeah, I know a lot of people get triggered by the music with the Crystal Maiden one a lot. got like
They're
a
all
little
bad.
piccolo solo
They
or
all-
something. Which one really grinds your gears, Purge?
I don't know. Maybe that step one is I'm a little softer to it nowadays, but there was a period of time where that one was spammed constantly in the mid lane. Pro players have ruined almost all taunts for me, frankly. Because they just press them constantly. They're bored, so they're like, well, this is all easy laning stage stuff. Pressure on Sapphire.
Yeah, they've definitely got a decent amount of damage. I don't think they quite have enough, though. You can see that Dream is considering it, but has those 2
close.
points in the Lucent Beam. Might have been able to... it would have been very, very close. I'm not sure the exact
Yeah.
math on it.
If the creep wave didn't block him, I think he would have gotten him probably, but close.
Which is interesting because I figured that this lane, especially with all the negative armor that was going to be coming out of it, would be pretty scary, I think, for the Luna's approach, but definitely see more of the aggression coming out from the side of Gambit here.
I think it'd be scarier if he didn't have a hard stun. Because if he does get gushed, Tidehunter will approach, and they have to do follow-up right clicks. That's really important. But the Sun's going to be able to lock that down. And Luna's got pretty fast boots here, and the Wraithband as well, so he's actually got pretty high armor. So really the vulnerable one is Lion. So as long as Lion is relatively careful in his positioning, he'll be all right.
I mean, Emergent has been incredibly careful with it. In fact, he's the one that's setting up most of these stuns as well, so... I think he'll be all right. And that being said, over here, Roger getting clicked down. Looks like they're going to be happy to take down the Courier instead, because it is, of course, the Ring of Health. And is he going to get a kill here, too? Oh, the Dream for Dream.
It really is. And at first I was like, like what the... He's going to get distracted by this Courier, but killing a Ring of Health against the Tidehunter is super value.
Yes.
I believe that would have been the Ring of Health that would have eventually been turned into a hood to help make Tidehunter really tanky. So breaking that up for a while is going to be a nice advantage.
Like we said, we do have a rotation over to the mid lane. The Dragon form has been used. Got the bottle service coming out from Roger. I'm not sure how much they can actually do here, though, with just the two of them. I think they would have needed maybe +1, tried to push him off the tower. But he is taking advantage of this Cardi wave, of course.
Yeah, Iceberg just wants to clear the creep wave here, but he's being careful with his nuke just in case there's a chance to get a kill. And so pretty darn good damage with the first catapult here. Down to 500 HP on the tier 1 tower. It's great.
Pretty calm in the bottom lane. Haven't seen anything too wild. Like you said, being able to purge off things in the bottom lane makes it very, very valuable to have the Oracle over there. But no one. Positioning, grabs himself up the rune. Over here on Iceberg, gets the Arcane. It's going to be poking away here on Seneko. Going to go for the Dream Coil as well. Looking for the stop. Nice silence, though, from Iceberg. Waiting patiently. It is a little telegraph. It's going to just poke forward here. Needs another click or two. And down goes Seneko.
It's not a huge net worth advantage from that kill, but it kills the kill. And with the Arcane Rune, his Dream Coil is going to be off cooldown a long time. And frankly, if they weren't going to gank the Dragon Eye anyways, it's not a big deal to put Dream Coil on cooldown there. I like what Iceberg did there with that kill. Lost his bounty, but hey, it's punished enemy team.
You get the bottle service yet again here for no one. It's like a couple pings coming out. They want to make some plays over here on Roger, so they'll open up. They've got a nice Earth Spike, the Hex, and Dream just running out, and it's going to respect Ramses, though. We'll back off a little bit. It is his birthday, after all.
Okay, that kind of pressure into Snapfire is really effective. Roger does not have Tranquil Boots yet, so this is going to make him feel like he won't be able to fight to the death anymore. So small trades like that are excellent.
Tower is under attack.
There's second Dragon Knight ulti.
Yeah, and the pressure's on this tower. It's not going to be lasting for very long. I don't think they're going to be able to do much of anything here to no one. But see the wrap around here coming out from Merchant. The teleports are coming out. Nice cookie coming out from Roger. As they go and use the Stampede, they'll be able to stun up the puck. Turning right back around again. The Dream Coil. Perhaps the Dragon Knight has gone a little bit too far here. As he'll also join in. And down will go the Dragon Knight. But looks like the tower was taken down in the process.
Yep, Seneko moved forward and punched it. Oracle tried to deny it, but Oracle's crappy base damage was not enough. But ultimately, what saved that fight was the cookie from Roger. Incredible play there. If that cookie didn't come at that moment, there would have been a Dragon Stun follow-up. Lion sensing some danger through Earth Spike out. Both of those two basically were less effective or missed, and as a result, Puck gets out of danger. I thought he was dead for sure when that Hex came, but good cookie saves him.
It's not often that we get to call a cookie incredible here, so.
Yeah, but that
It did. It absolutely saved him. Yeah. This is looking scary for Dream. Smoke immediately breaking. The route into place. Roger trying to get close enough for the cookie, but this time not going to be able to bridge that gap as Immersion also makes his way back up. And they did smoke underneath a ward earlier, so even though, Dream still was a little bit forward. They probably were expecting something to happen, so backed off.
It would have been a hard kill anyways. Dream's got boots, Tide Hunter does not, so his ability to like gap close and get damage on his opponent was pretty unlikely, so it would have been a dangerous Ravage, low chances of succeeding. So
Oof. These stacks are beautiful over here.
so
That's going to be...
okay, and Luna went for 2 points in Lucent Beam to lane, a little bit more than we normally see, but still effective, and now 2 points back for Glaives. So he should be able to clear waves decently here. Damage on Tide. He's got a hood, but...
No, I mean, you've got a double damage on no one. You've got so much damage here. I don't think you survive this. Dream will find himself another kill, and the pressure is on this top tower.
And so with DK being here, he can pressure the tower. Luna can't help if he wants to, but he's also got Mask of Madness finish. It's flying out right now. And now the Ocean Heart, so he's going to be really happy for jungling purposes here. Sitting, waiting to come forward. Just going to clear the wave most likely, and we'll see if they stick around and finish.
Like they're going to make a play after light. Pop. They've got the little shredder that was placed on. Now, he's very fast. He can't run away because he finds the kill on Roger, but does eventually get slain by Iceberg.
Centaur is balanced, guys. It only took 4 heroes to kill him, and they still lost one. I suppose he was taking, I guess you might take return damage from Bull Shredder, in which case that's kind of a lot, but that was there was a lot of effort just to kill one guy, but they got him.
Yeah, but what percentage of this is that Centaur is too strong and that Vanguard is very strong?
It's almost always when something becomes overpowered in Dota, it's because there's multiple layers, so it's both for sure.
But like what percent, like which one is stronger than the other? I guess
you know what, Moxie, I just didn't do the math before the cast. It's hard for me to estimate right now.
You literally had one job, dude. One job. Here, you slacker.
That's true. That's true.
Oh
Tower damage got
God.
reduced, so Vanguard damage blocks more. There's it's the fact that the Centaur's gotten buffed in other ways. The Stampede cooldown got reduced by 20 seconds, which is massive. So just a mix of everything.
No, he definitely has been gaining in popularity. It seems that he and Beastmaster are showing up in almost every draft. Either they are being banned or picked up. So perhaps something to look at, Mr. Ice Frog. But this Luna Dream very happy. Just farming up these stacks. Look at that net worth too. Keeps on creeping up higher and higher. Gonna have that Yasha online very, very shortly.
Yeah, this is pretty good actually. Really good farm speed. And he's actually gotten a lot more Lucent Beam than we normally expect out of Lunas at this phase. Not going for the max Lunar Blessing build. Seems like everyone has very different ideas about what the best skill build is for carry Luna. And I think I like this one a little bit better. I think not getting any Lucent Beam at all is a bit of a mistake at times. But yeah, he's going to have Eclipse more viably ready in an earlier phase than we've seen with some other carries.
Well, definitely feels like there's a lot of fighting early, but Silence gets tossed out again. Centaur, they end up using 2 ultimates, and they still have not managed to kill him. So, yeah, I would say that this hero seems very powerful indeed.
Level 10, and he's got almost 2,000 HP. And yeah, he's got a Vanguard and a hood. But yeah, it's kind of an insane, bonkers amount of survivability there. That's like the easiest Dream Coil break I've ever seen. Like, oh, 300 extra damage? Fine. Keep running.
I remember there was an ESL song like a while back that was just all about running, and that's the first thing that comes to mind now whenever you say that. That was a missed opportunity. They could have tried to work that in. Oh wow.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Luna just doing Luna things though, has that Yasha completed, and is going to be going for the BKB as the next item. A lot of neutrals, 33% and 33% of the lane creeps as well. Look at Afterlife. He's just not afraid here. He can tank the tower. He's got the rest of the team standing behind. No one pops the dragon form. And Roger's got to be careful here. Blink completed.
Yeah, they can't stop this. I mean, Afterlife's tanking it on purpose. He's regenerating 25. It'd be great to not that Roger, though.
Had to use the little shredder, though, to do it.
I mean, it's fine. Ooh, 70 mana, that's gone. They weren't going to fight anyway.
Efficiency purge.
He's going to regen it back. It'll be no problem at all. And that's Dragonite ulti half gone now. They're going to get tempo like this, but what you're doing is just trying to buy time for PA to get farmed. And this is one of the downsides of the Battle Fury build is that The tempo has gone up a lot in this last patch, and if you buy a farming item like this, your impact in team fights is going to feel less. And you know, sometimes that's not going to matter. You'll still win fights without it, or maybe with PA just not being there. But he needs to get his next big items for sure. And the timing for Luna's just probably going to be faster, but we'll see, because BKB is just being worked on now for Luna.
I mean, that definitely becomes the issue when you're up against something like Luna, and the fact that, you know, you can build a Luna very differently depending on how you'd like to do it, but she is just naturally going to be able to farm faster, and the PA, I'm not sure. You know, we talk about the fact that, you know, she could have gone for the Desolator, she could have gone, obviously, you know, she's got the Battle Fury, but with the timings coming out from Na'Vi too, is it better to have the Battle Fury over than trying to be overly aggressive and putting all your eggs in this early basket?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're not putting all their eggs in the early basket with the Battle Fury, though. I mean, a lot of their other heroes are very strong right now, absolutely. And part of that purpose was just to make their team fights easier and to make sure that they can slow down the towers being taken a bit. And they've been semi-successful at that. But Luna is still the most farmed hero. There still is a net worth advantage on the side of the Radiant, so it's not perfect for them. But PA is a better ultra late game carry than a Luna is, almost always. Just because once you get BKB and like Abyssal Blade, she's going to jump on one support and she's going to kill them really, really fast. And those supports aren't going to be able to defend themselves often. Luna can't really do that. She has to like walk in, pop her ultimate, start right clicking, and hopefully people die, kind of. She needs to be able to,
make her sound so underwhelming. Did you break up with Luna at some point, Burge? You're just so disparaging.
It's the reality of Luna in the late game. She's about getting advantage and then pressuring towers and making it scary for the enemy team to ravage into her because she's got BKB. That's the value of Luna. It is not like taking an even team fight and like just picking off heroes. But killing enemy heroes at the start of the fight is huge.
Ooh, smoke on smoke action. All right, the jump immediately over on Luna. She's trying to just dodge around. Knows that she's probably not going to survive this, so will fall, but they'll find the kill and always want to fly over in the back lines. No one is just chasing after Roger here, who has already used that cookie, so he is slowly just getting chipped down. And oh, look at that, that finger from downtown over there. My goodness.
That slow creep screwed him, man. He walked right past it. Aggro does 25% slow. Gave him time to catch up. Who's gonna be mad about that one? But yeah, Luna died instantly. Obviously,
Iceberg?
Crap, but
Merchant has found himself a puck here hiding in the side, but I'm pretty sure he should be absolutely fine. The Earth Splitter does get used, though. So he'll get the silence. No one on the hunt, searching for this puck. They do have the Astral Spirit. It's going to try to teleport away. I don't think they're going to be able to cancel in time.
That was really close a couple times, actually. Nice that they're able to get there so fast. But, no kill, not a big deal. With Blink Dagger up on Dragonite, he's going to be sitting great. Very ready to be the first initiator or the follow-up to Line. These two heroes, Line and Dragonite, just make the rest of the game really dangerous. Or not, because if they ever do get caught pushing, they're going to be stunned for like 5 to 7 seconds, kind of a thing. Not going to be a fun time.
I mean, we've seen the power of, you know, a Dragon Knight and a Centaur, actually, in one of the Alliance games. I think it was Alliance versus OG, where Limp was playing the Dragon Knight. He'd get an opening, he'd find the Dragon Tail, and there would someone be immediately running in to try to help him. Then just the stomps coming out from S4 immediately were able to, you know, counter-initiate, and they took great fights off of it. So that is something definitely Na'Vi has to be very aware of, especially because they just picked up the Blink Dagger on the Centaur as well now.
Yep, that's the best thing about the late game draft for AS Monaco Gambit, is that all of the heroes playing around Luna can get pickoffs, can amplify each other, can secure a lot of advantage if they do get those pickoffs in other ways. It's just Luna will be following up, not so much like the guy that can do it himself. Map control and initiations is really the name of the game from here on out.
Illusion!
Well, the PA is, of course, catching up, though, in terms of net worth. It's a 9.4k over on Luna, 8.4 over on PA, so the Battle Fury is helping out, and you have a Mithril hammer picked up over on the PA. Not sure if she's going for the Deso first or the BKB. Lots Power Ranger TPs coming out immediately as Roger gets spotted here by no one. Rest of the team, they've got this lockdown for sure. Roger's not able to do anything but just sit there and die.
It might seem like a little bit overkill, but they don't know. The enemies are going to be there. Their issue with their advantage. And with Phantom Assassin running around, with Blur pretty much constantly on, it's difficult to find PA and limit his farm. So he just keeps hitting creeps and finishes Battle Fury, and that's going to give a really good timing window for Navi, especially with the Solar Crest finish now on Tidehunter. So between Ravage and Solar Crest on the PA, yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage coming. Which item he's buying? He is going BKB first to be safe. Pretty needed. If he doesn't have BKB and he runs in and there's an Eclipse and any disable, he's just going to die, and it's going to make his hero feel not valuable. With that said, now his problem is that his damage is not that incredible, so like his damage impact will not be as obvious, but he'll get there eventually.
I think the thing that worries me right now is if you take a look at what AS Monaco Gambit have online for initiation, you have a blink on Immersion, you have a blink over on the Centaur, and you have a blink on Dragon Knight. So if that PA steps even the slightest bit out of line, they have immediate just blink initiation to go and just hold her in place, and then all of a sudden you're missing all your physical damage for the most part.
Yeah, and getting chain stun from full to nothing is the scariest thing for PA, absolutely. But the whole purpose is reading the map and predicting where you think your opponents are going to be, and just not being there with your PA. You want to be going in first. You want to be jumping on a support or something like that instead. So VTune is a very, very high-ranked player. He is very talented, so I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get picked off out of position.
They're beating on Dire's top tower.
You can see the way that Navi is playing too. They're trying to kind of stay in the general vicinity of one another, so in case someone does get jumped, they can immediately respond. Except for, you know, Ramsey's here, but of course he is a Tidehunter. He definitely is chonky, and the rest of the team is now making their way over. BKB is completed over on Phantom Assassin. We also have the BKB completed on Luna. So this could be a big reveal for both teams here as Ramses just swims on over, starts with the Gush. VTune is nearby. Dagger's going to get tossed out. They're trying to bait a little bit here. Lunar hit down over onto Ramses with the little mini stun will slow them down, and it feels like Gambit don't really want to take this fight. They sense something's up. No one's showing in any of these lanes.
Yep, they know their opponents are in the area. They got the tier 2 tower already. They don't want to waste BKB. Very safe for Dream to not use it. Well, not really safe. It was the right choice, but you know they wanted to get him to force BKB just to waste it. That way they could force a good fight. But yeah, net worth advantage from earlier is still about there. It's all about the initiation, and with Ramses in the front, he's very difficult to kill. He's got tons of armor. He's got a hood. Could die to magic damage. That's maybe the most vulnerable thing, but he's going to get Ravage off if he does. So for now, just posturing and trying to break smoke and looking for the right initiation while VTune farms smart.
3K net worth lead at around 20 minutes in here for AS Monaco Gambit. Ramsey's very much posturing himself very forward. He's hoping that they, you know, they get impatient, maybe take that bait, but it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that over on the side of the Radiant. Being very, very patient, just continuing to play around the Luna, and both teams kind of mirroring each other's movements.
Yep, just this cliff ward is really important right now by the Oracle, just for controlling the jungle down here. It's the one that I see contested the most right now. This one and the opposite one near Roshan. Feels like the two big ward spots. If they just keep ward vision down here, it should make it really easy for VTune to keep playing in this area. Keeps hitting creeps, keeps pressuring towards the tier 2 tower, which is going to force AS Monaco Gambit to potentially react themselves. Both jungles a little bit scary.
And every time I hear this Luna use her taunt, it just makes me think of Sir Action Slacks. It sounds like he's the one making the meowing noise.
Very similar tone, yes.
I know, right?
I can see why you're confused, yeah.
Bottom lane, though, Afterlife hopping forward. They're going to miss the Earth Spike on the Oracle here, but they're not going to miss the Finger. So that's another Finger stack going over for the Lion. And will force the side of Navi a bit back here as they do smoke up, hoping to catch stragglers, hoping to find anyone. And again, it is just Ramses, but I guess they've decided they've had enough of his just taunting around. And he's so tanky as all of the team having to show up for the most part here. They get the stop, the sleep, they hit everything on Ramses, and eventually no one will get the kill.
Took a lot, but they got him. That's with Elder Titan in melee range. out of the way, so he was losing almost all of his base armor and base magic resistance, and he still tanked a lot of damage. Having Solar Crest, Dragon Scale Phase, whose Soul Ring really helps out a lot in that circumstance. But they finally get a big pick off. He didn't want to Ravage, it wasn't going to save his life anyways, and they finally get an opportunity to save Roach without having to worry about their opponents showing up.
Yeah, that is the one hero on the side of the enemy team that you don't want wandering over to that Roche pit, so we'll happily clean up this Roshan, get some immortality online, and probably go for another objective. 4 seconds completed for Puck 2.
And this is where Luna wants to be. Your match net worth with an enemy carry. You've got an Aegis now. She's finished Sanj and Yasha, so the Suns that do affect her aren't going to last very long, nor many of the disables. And then you've also got BKB to back up. Pupil's Gift, great item for any ability too, so he's just like abnormally tanky at this position and difficult to kill. Kind of curious to see if he plays with the Shard later on. I know it's been talked about as popular and valuable, and he won lots of Lucent Beam cooldowns, so I assume he's going to get it later. It does the 2 attacks off of the Lucent Beam target, so it helps you, even with a right-click build, accelerate. Puts him in a good position. Vessel's up on V2, so this would be a decent time for Navi to fight.
Yeah, well, they're going to initiate again on Ramsey. The follow-up though from Iceberg is they managed to, they just absolutely blow up Immersion as all of their ultimates just getting tossed out over here. So not looking great. The buyback now from the Lion. No one had jumped into the back lines. They still have that Lincoln's online. And the Luna is just ticking down with all this damage over on the side. Cookie Hop going forward is going to be enough to save all. Yes, it is. He's going to be fine as they go right back in. That Aegis will indeed get popped. No one, though, still alive, still chasing after them here. Has his attention now over here on that Snapfire. Afterlife will follow up. The Lucent Beam from Dream will clean up. But they did force a buyback out of Immersion during all of that. And again, you know, jumping on the Tidehunter.
Yeah, and it was multifaceted. They disabled the Tidehunter at first. They popped BKB to protect against the Ravage. They used Eclipse. But very interestingly, the Oracle used Fate's Edict on the Tidehunter ahead of time. He anticipated the Eclipse and ended up eating a bunch of the beams and just made Tidehunter feel not that really tanky, actually. Way more than you would have expected. Because the max beams you get per unit is 5. So those first like 3 or 4 got eaten up by Tide at 0 damage. So the Eclipse just really didn't feel good. Again, that's the biggest issue that's hurting Luna as a carry right now. Eclipse just feels like it has a lot of solutions to it these days.
Iceberg just playing around a little bit, gets a snipe on the courier. Yeah, look at this. It just goes from 0 to 60 so fast. That Dream Coil, the Ravage.
There's the Fate's Edict. 3, 4, 5. 5 beams hit him while he was completely magic immune. Insane. Really good usage there by the Oracle without having to use his ulti.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Initiation again. Cookie Hop not going to save them as Immersion gets another stack. Drop the splitter as they find the pick off over off Immersion, and the jump forward here from Afterlife is able to take down Iceberg. Now they're still chasing after Ramses as BKBs were popped over here on the side of no one, and of course V-Tune, who just wants to get out. They don't have any way to cancel it, but this is not looking great now for Roger and Ramses as they are left behind, and Roger just a little bit too squishy. So eventually, are they going to just oh no, he's got the Glimmer Cape. He's actually going to survive, but it's not looking as promising for Ramses, although they're using everything in the kitchen sink to try to take him down. But look at this boy. He is so tanky. They'll even go and just use the Oracle ultimate to try to keep him alive, and perhaps no one has gone just a bit too far because they will be able to take him out. And they're going to try to re-engage here. Ravage, of course, going to be up in a couple seconds. This is good stop here from Afterlife. Okay, that time Ramses is not going to be protected as he does get blown up by the Eclipse. They're still thinking about going in, though. V-Tune making his way forward. Sees Saneko, has that Deso online. Lucent Beam will buy a little bit more time. Saneko trying to teleport, but he is going to get rooted into place, and who's going to get nuked down by Always Want to Fly.
Dire's middle tower is
really well
under
done with the Fortune Sun, anticipating this, puts on his ally, he gets the easy route as a result, and not terrible. They do lose the Dragonite. They got a little bit too overeager, thinking they were finally going to be able to kill the Tide, but it takes a lot of damage to pick him up. Now Blur Evasion picked up by PA. This is going to make V-Tune, who's already very difficult to kill, almost impossible to kill. 80% of vision is what he's rocking just passively right now. They do have a lot of magic damage, so they can kill him, but it's going to have to be when BKB is on cooldown is the only window that they're going to have here to deal with V-Tune. So as long as V-Tune doesn't make any major mistakes, or the rest of his team doesn't get completely wiped in a one-sided fashion, then PA is going to have a really nice window where pretty much nobody can do much other than stun him and deal with other heroes instead.
Nice. He does have a double damage bottled up, so I'm sure he's eager for the next fight. Although he does have that Ags queued up, they do have a problem with all the BKBs coming out from the side of Gambit. But looks like they're thinking about maybe doing some sweeping motion here. Ramses does have the Ravage up again. Dashers gets picked up by V-Tune. I'll drop a sentry, try to get a little vision. They have the scan, they know exactly where they're headed. But do they do anything?
It's difficult to fight past this mid-river point. Your opponents stand on their high ground, you stand over here on the high ground in your jungle, and you got to be careful as you approach these situations. But the Basher is going to be a really big deal. Using that, who picked up the Orb of Corrosion? Was that? Is that Radiant or Dire? Let's see.
Well, no one's got it equipped at the moment, so.
It's Radiant. So that's good for AS Monaco Gambit. You do not want a PA to have that item if possible. It just increases his damage so much. He does have Mindbreaker instead, which is also really good actually in these circumstances. You can throw out a Stifling Dagger and get a 2-second silence just about. And considering he's also got Basher, that means that Lion is shaking in his boots right now. If he gets initiated on at all by PA, there's a really good chance that you get a kill even without having to pop BKB.
Movement over here in the mid lane. Looks like they'll initiate on the Snapfire. The Stampede that gets used, the jump forward from Afterlife is going for the double edge. It buys just a little bit more time thanks to the Oracle, but over on the back line, they find always want to fly. So there's not going to be an Oracle available for this fight. So it looks like the rest of Na'Vi is on the back foot. Smoke comes out. Hoping to stragglers. The support to push out over here in the mid lane as the rest of them get in position. They will see Ramses. He's going to pop the smoke on no one. Again, not really the target that they're hoping for, so they might try to comb through the jungle here, see if they can grab anyone else. But they might just have to settle for Ramses again here. Yeah, the Dragon Tail will come out. You can see V2 tossing out the dagger. Look at the damage over on Dragon Knight.
Pretty good. Almost nothing they can do to the Tide. Although they're building towards it, the Shadow Blade pickup that we saw in Dragon Knight, a little bit atypical, but the whole purpose is you can build into Silver Edge and get a break off. Here's that initiation on Snapfire. Once again, full magic resistance on him is why it took so long for him to die here with these right clicks. But DK also hit the Oracle. Hitting the back line is a great thing to do. If the guy you first initiate on is busy, but now with Smoke in the live game, they're going to find Centaur.
They will indeed. He snaps that coil, and there's a lot of negative armor coming out as Roger will be able to get his revenge here on Afterlife.
It was pretty YOLO, actually. I mean, they didn't have very good vision in the area, and he goes to take the Shrine, just really expecting the enemy team to be somewhere else on the map, and they ran right at him, getting that kill. 50 seconds now, where AS Monaco Gambit's not going to want to engage. Roshan is probably not going to be up in time for them to get in, but they'll pressure the 2-2 tower with this kill advantage that they got. Every kill matters so much right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You just want to keep that tempo up. You don't want to have a moment where you're just sitting back for too long, so... I don't think they're going to engage without the center, but I could be wrong. Dream is very far forward here, a little bit scary considering, but feeling confident.
Just an extra tower kill. That'll make it easier to go high ground when it comes to it. And frankly, with that tower being gone, it's a lot easier for Na'Vi to control the tri-camp area. They can move from each position to the other without having to worry about smoke breaking and stuff like that. Gambit on the map again, moving out. Luna trying to finish an MKB, but it's still about 1,500 gold away. She finishes that, she will finally be the person that can deal with the PA.
Snapfire also picking up a gem as well, probably to help get just some more, you know, map control, try to take down any sort of vision, and also try to spot when people are coming forward, like that Dragon Knight, for example, who again is working towards the Silver Edge, so.
I mean, the vision's so good on Na'Vi, they can see almost everything. See if they decide to jump. They've got Blink Dagger on Tide, they could Blink Ravage, want to.
I do like the way that Ramses is playing very, very forward. Very difficult to take him out at this time. So every time it seems that they go for a smoke, they usually run into Ramses first, it seems. And he's more than happy to soak up a lot of that damage.
Yep, the value of the tanky offlane hero. Buy all these items and break the smokes and make everyone happy on your team. Lion gets the ever important finger kill health talent.
Ooh, tanky boy.
Only got 4 finger kills, so it's not that good here. That's fine. He'll take the extra HP. maybe that will, you know, if PA sneezes on him while attacking him, that could be the difference of him staying alive.
That was so unimpressed dad of you. He's like, only has 4 finger kills. Let's not get too crazy about this. Poor Lion. You know, he's doing the best he can. This is a hard game. There is a PA that can just...
His KD is great. It's just, you know, there's limited amounts of kills.
It's great. It's fine. Cool. Cool beans.
BKB picked up by DK. Very close to the silver edge, about 1,000 or so. That'll be possibly a big game changer, because then it's going to completely change how Navi can play the team fights. Tidehunter can sit in the front, but the problem is that he's going to get broken. Therefore, Kraken will stop working, and therefore stuns will actually become valuable against him again. So if they can find him when he's out of position, they can break him and chain stun him. They can just kill Tide at the start of the fight. This is going to completely change the dynamics of how Navi can stand around engagements. They're going to need sentries to protect Tide in addition to however their position.
Is Snapfire...
And then maybe Oracle's going to have to save him instead, which isn't what they want.
Yeah. Is Snapfire the one who's holding the gem currently for Navi?
Nobody's holding the gem for Navi right now, actually.
Okay, that's strange. No,
So,
Iceberg has it.
Puck.
Yeah. Okay, that's the best carry for that, because I was about to say, if it's Roger holding that, that's really scary, because he has been jumped on multiple times and just erased from the team fight fairly early on. So I like the fact that Iceberg's going to be holding on to it. Definitely a lot harder to get your hands on that puck.
Roach is up, so both teams are going to be trying to play around it here. They're going to spot.
Silver edge completed now.
Ward. Okay, there we go. Ward killed now. Tide's got to be careful.
Yeah, look at no one. Look at him. He's being so patient. Gem gets picked up on the Elder Titan as well. It's a vision game here. Ramses. Oh, there's the break. They'll open up. Follow up with a nice Earth Spike. And again, he's just so tanky. They get the stop off. They also get the Earth Splitter, but...
Yeah, Batesy came out instantly to protect him from any magic damage. Break again.
Another break again. They want to go in on this, though. It's the battle of the tanky boys right now. All right, they'll finally go and they'll use the Oracle ulti, because they used the BK... Or not the BKB. What did they use there?
He did use BKB and PK, yeah.
He did use the BKB. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but Oracle ulti on cooldown for 80 seconds. This is an okay window. Could also argue there's a little timer where BKB comes back up, but they're looking for the fight. They ready. They don't have Satanic just yet. But...
All right, there it is. They follow up. They had a beautiful Dream Coil, but they've also got the Eclipse coming out from Dream now, as V2 and Dream just trying to fight each other, and they're not really finding success. Oh, the Ravage just barely clipping 2 of them. The Cookie hop forward. They do manage to take down Dream. Ash coming out as well over onto Afterlife. He tries to get the stomp, enough to save his life, as the gem does indeed get just picked up again over here as Iceberg fell during all of that.
Huge plays by Navi. I mean, Always On a Fly just made that so difficult for AS Monaco Gambit, despite them breaking the Tidehunter. Every single time that he got gone on, they slapped Fate down, and then now there's just no magic damage follow-up. Here's the second break that we see. Instant Fate's Edict is going to make all this extra damage weaker. Puck gets a great silence, and V2 dives to DK, knowing he doesn't have BKB. Once that kill happens, we get to see Dream and the PA fight to the death, more or less, but V2 gets cold feet, knowing his BKB's done. This Cookie was so good. Gives them the follow-up Ravage after the first stun, and they get to clean up the important heroes on the back line. But I think that fight was a really good example of, like, both carries, the PA and the Luna, having the ideal items, and just one of them is stronger. PA just looked more valuable there in that head-to-head fight, especially with the Scotty pickup that V2 has grabbed. It's going to limit all of the nice lifesteal that Luna's hoping to have when she picks up her Satanic and 25 talent later on.
You know, it's interesting to see the different ways that people have been building Luna currently, but I just have yet to see it really impress or look good.
Yeah. It's a hero that I like too, and I want her to feel to be valuable, but she has issues right now, for sure. And doesn't help that the talents got changed recently. She lost her cast range talent in the big cast range apocalypse that happened in the last patch. She used to have a 350 cast range talent, so some of her ability to, like, affect team fights without putting herself in danger just got removed. So even though Lucent Beam Stun lasts longer, which is kind of cool, it just doesn't quite feel as valuable, and it also took away her viability as a support. So while she is still being used because teams want up-tempo carries, we're probably going to have to start seeing some buffs to Luna, or people are just going to stop picking her because they realize they lose too often with it. So we'll see. For now, maybe she can still pull out the win. She has farm roll, but now there's a 11k net worth deficit, in Navi's advantage. So it's just getting worse for AS Monaco Gambit.
Is it a situation where you could possibly build her a little bit differently and maybe have more?
I don't think so. Unless you try to do like Ags or something like that, to do like that hybrid cheese. You could argue maybe she should be using her shard potentially, but it's a lot of net worth. And if she buys her shard, then, you know, it's going to delay you to fight PA to the death.
Right.
This is not the game to do that. You need to make sure that you can remain competitive against PA.
All right, well, B-Tune has that Aegis online. Shoving out the way here bottom. It looks like they're thinking about going high ground here. And Gear gets found by Luna. Meanwhile, nice, yeah. Definitely something nice for her. Protect her a little bit. Lotus Orb is placed over onto B-Tune. It's rooted into place, though, as all the other TVs... Oh, my goodness. All right. You know, we talked about Centaur looking tanky, but he doesn't look tanky at all when that comes down. Obviously, the Stomp, the Earth Spike. Dream Coil gets used over on the Luna. She's being held off to the side as the jump forward over here from B-Tune. Just leashed up, and there's a decent amount of damage, but they've got the Oracle to just keep him alive and healthy. The Ravage comes out. Dream goes down, but they're going to buy back these Word for Kisses, just landing right square over onto Snake. So they jump into the back line, though. They find always want to fly. Can't forward. Oh my goodness, no one is just ripped to shreds. And now B-Tune's just running over here, over at the Luna, over at the line. It's a good sleep. It's a good stop. But can they do anything else beyond this? They've bought back on so many heroes and they're just losing them. The Aegis finally goes down, and so does Dream. Ramsey's just running at him with their face. The cookie hop forward, just a little bit too far forward over here. Not going to be able to go land on no one, but look at B2. Look at these daggers. Look at this damage, this negative armor. The GG gets called. And the V looking very, very strong here. And unfortunately, the Luna still not finding success here.
I was a little bit unsure about the Battle Fury, but I think Navi did such a good job with their other 4 heroes to buy time for PA to become the carry that we've all seen her be. Great item is
Dire Team's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire Team's turn to pick. Radiant Team's turn to pick.
Puck.
Radiant Team's turn to Dire Team's turn to pick.
Their backs are truly up against the wall now. AS Monaco Gambit, 1 game down against Navi, 0-2 so far in Season 2. This is must-win for them.
Dire Team.
Both Game 2 and Game 3 has to be theirs if they want to be able to have the freedom to be able to go to the major based off of their own score and not other people's losses. We've got Game 2's draft now underway, which I'm hoping we're not going to see a Luna, because that hero seems hard to win with.
Yeah, it's not got a win in East or Western Europe yet. I think it's like 2 for 2 losses there, and this was the first loss for Luna in this region, so yeah, hopefully we don't get to see any more
10
Lunas.
seconds
Now,
remaining.
AA is a fascinating pickup for me here.
5
There's no
seconds
particular reason to pick it up just yet.
Yeah.
It's almost like a pseudo-deny pick in the sense that all these Timber Saws and even Centaur, you don't necessarily feel good picking them. AA just gives you that extra burst required to bring down the strength heroes in the offlane right now, the Axes, Centaur, or Timber Saw. But they pick one anyways. So they kind of say, screw you, we don't care. Going to be keeping an eye
Dire
out for
Team's turn
Wraith
to
King
ban.
and Sven.
Radiant Team's
Two
turn to ban.
prime meta carries that synergize quite well with the Ancient Apparition.
I guess the main thing for an AA pick, it's just the idea of like 4 protect 1 strategies. I'm trying to kind of put some reasoning here where when you first pick this puck, you assume it's mid.
10
The
seconds
offlaner
remaining.
for Monaco Gambit is often quite sacrificial.
Dire Team ban.
Therefore, it's all about the carry. So like a casual
Radiant
AA pick,
Team's
game
turn to
2, it's just,
ban.
well, sure, if you want to play some 4 protect 1, we always need to be able to isolate that hero with that initiation of this tiny. But again, it's early days. It's just kind of a casual AA, nothing too much. It would remove like Monkey King from the game, Slug from the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of carries you can't
Yeah,
pick up anymore,
exactly.
right? Alk is on that list as well.
10 seconds remaining.
The Lifestealer is going to be banned by Gambit themselves, because,
5
again, a
seconds
hero you
remaining.
probably aren't feeling great about picking.
You know, hero is okay against AA. That's
Radiant
PA.
Team's
Dire
Team's
turn
turn
to
to pick.
This is why they pick it here. Bang.
Phantom
There you go.
Assassin.
Ooh,
Wow.
a
Nailed it.
block pick carry.
I had to say that quick enough so it sounded like a good prediction.
Radiant Team's turn to pick.
With the Phoenix. Okay.
I don't like this PA pick nearly as much as the last one. Now the PA is playing into the puck, now into a
Dire
Phoenix. You
Team's
don't
turn to
like
pick.
playing against Phoenix. She's a support that is guaranteed to take at least like, you know, once A gets level 2, you're guaranteed to take 8 hits. PA ain't meant to hit you 8 times. She's meant to kill you in the first 5 attacks if you're a support. So suddenly if they get themselves a Faceless Void, throw it up there. You got your
10
Phoenix
seconds remaining.
plus the Void. I know you're against AA, but so like
5
Time Walk
seconds
won't
remaining.
heal you.
Dodge it, Brian.
Yeah, just dodge it. Honestly, any hero that doesn't stand, that is not stationary in fights, I think is fine against AA. It's not as much about the heal reduction as it is that you just move out of the way. Heroes like the Alchemist, on the other hand, you know, he is going to stay in place in the fight.
Monaco Gambit, though, that they have kind of flipped the script on their approach, where game 1 they were all about this kind of Luna win condition, let's go play early, and now they've got like this ultimate team fight scaling point where this Phoenix will have the freest of games unless there's some ranged hero that can deal with egg, because right now there is no egg hitter. So yeah, I like the scaling factor from Gambit where they are so good.
How does dive work in terms of carapace? Like, does it register a
Yeah, you'll get
damage
stunned.
instantly,
Turn to ban.
or can you like dive through carapace and egg?
You'd get so as you dive, it's like a small fraction, then you get stunned after.
Okay, so you'll probably be able to egg if you do it, if you're aware you're gonna get carapaced. I was just curious. Jug, it's not exactly the hero I had in mind. but it's very survivable against
10
everything that's
seconds
not the
remaining.
tiny, or I guess tiny mid game, PA late
5
game.
seconds remaining.
It is like one of the meta carries right now. It's pretty reliable. Lets the Phoenix take over the
Radiant
lane. It
team
can go
ban.
jungle with level 5, 3 points and spin. They don't have any BKB piercing threats so far.
This is a like of all the drafts that Monaco Gambit have presented in DPC so far, this is one of my favorite though. Simply because they first pick a puck to instant react with a tiny, and now they've picked 3 heroes that do not care about a core tiny.
10
And Navi
seconds
have clearly
remaining.
presented that this is a tiny. So it's like, okay, how is he gonna have a game
5 seconds
unless he
remaining.
crushes this puck? He's not gonna be able to suddenly run to lanes and get kills. Phoenix has egg, Jug has spear, healing ward, Sentinel has natural tankiness with Vanguard and Hood. So yeah, I like how Gambit kind of utilized their first pick to kind of force Navi into a weird position, but
Let's make sure we ban out the Slardar if
Yeah.
Monaco Gambit wants to round it off. I think
That's
that's
true,
true.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
screwed by Slardar here.
yeah, that's 100%. We saw that yesterday as well in Western Europe, how last pick Slardar can wreak havoc, but then of course he didn't win the game in the end. But just the first 20 minutes of the game was very
That
enjoyable.
Slardar was amping up a Faceless Void, which is okay.
Yeah.
But if you compare that to like a PA, that's a very different story, I think.
Radiant team
Navi, they're
ban.
all out on just skirmishing.
Slardar
There's Slardar ban. Yeah.
What else is left in the off lane is they have given Ramses that overall 10th pick a lot.
I'm telling you, this is the Ram that he joins the team. He's drafting as well. It's like, guys, don't worry. We can talk about my hero. Oops, we've picked 4 heroes. He's got to pick my hero
my
now.
seconds
Oh,
remaining.
sorry.
This last pick off lane.
Oh, no. Oh, it's working.
I guess I'll pick
5
PA.
seconds remaining.
Vici, what hero do you want? No, I've already locked it in, mate. Too late. Too
Dire
slow.
team's turn to pick.
See another PA.
Whoops. Just bound his right click to pick in PA.
Exactly.
So Monaco Gambit, they are looking for their position 5 or 4, depending on what Phoenix is doing. I'd like to see them pick up
10 seconds remaining. Radiant
Enchantress,
team's turn to
I think,
pick.
yeah, like a strong laner.
Crystal Maiden.
Okay, go CM. Oh, sure. Not the worst, not the best. I think, of course, you have to think about, is CM that good? I think Nick's carapace removes CM ulting from the entire game.
This is all about the early game momentum.
Exactly, yes.
Right?
It's all about the lanes now. That's the key thing here. CM Jug, strong lane. Phoenix Centaur, strong lane.
10 seconds
Puck,
left.
somewhat
Decided.
countered, but still should be fine farming.
4 heroes
5
that do
seconds
utilize mana to accelerate their farm, so CM will help that a lot.
And you can't really go like Darkseer now, for example, here that Ramses has played before, because CM Jug happily plays into Darkseer, the Frostbite onto the creep that has the Iron Shell, and then the run down with the Crystal Nova plus the spin of the Jug. I still think they might pick it though, just for the Aura Buyer and then the...
Yeah, it might go something
Yeah.
like that or something like a Necrophos.
Into CM Jug though, I think that just...
The problem is I feel like you need a ranged hero with Nyx, because if you're against Jug CM, any melee hero is going to struggle. I guess Darkseer would do the best out of all of them. But
I'm just thinking like the skirmishing style of Navi right now, they're looking just to really run at them and have that non-stop reset and fight.
Nature's Prophet could be really strong here. I would
True.
actually be,
Yeah,
I would
that's
actually
good,
be
actually,
very
yeah.
down for a Nature's Prophet.
Oh yeah, Furin vibes.
They need that a little bit of early tower pressure, amps up the global presence they have from the AA Nyx combo. Nyx is able to roam because you're a pretty self-sufficient offlaner.
CM can't really lane too comfortably into either. But it then puts them into such a position of they have to get that quick Aegis and just go, go, go. And I love the fact that the teams have kind of flipped the pattern of how they play. Game 1, it was like Navi can wait, eventually win. And now it's like Navi, they have to go, they have to play strong lanes and kind of get online before this egg comes into full effect.
I just look at the spot and say there's no way they're gonna try to contest the team fight, right? Like the team fight's
Maybe an Underlord of...
Choose your hero.
Ooh-wee.
All right.
Now this is a hero I was spamming at the start of the patch.
All right,
and
all
he
right.
wins his lane. This hero owns 315 base move speed. They've given him like 4 base strength and 2 patches.
Yeah.
He just feels good. I'm curious to see if Ramses just goes straight bracer like a lot of strength offlaners have been going. Has a great target to buff up in the PA. Best way to deal with puck is to just stand still in the coil. The stash resistance makes it last less amount of time. Dude, I'm down for the Omni Knight. I actually think this hero's sleeper OP.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I like the idea of it because right now it's Jug v the world for the big damage outside of maybe an egg and a coil. So one Guardian Angel and you're going to be pretty happy. So I want to see them do well. I like seeing new heroes.
I mean, it certainly seemed like Ramses was having quite the
10
discussion
seconds
with his
remaining.
team. He almost looked like he was arguing adamantly.
5
Omni
seconds
Knight is a
remaining.
good hero here, guys. Trust me. kept nodding his head, kept telling his team,
No,
let's
that
pick
was
Omni-Knight.
no, that was V-Tune saying, "Why am I playing PA again?" And he was like,
Stop talking to me.
I'm picking Omni." You know, that's exactly what happened.
All right, so is it enough? Are we gonna believe in the Omni-Knight pickup for Na'Vi?
I want to believe it just to like validate my own beliefs. Starting at the patch where I'm like, this feels good.
Did you stick with it?
I've stuck with it.
Okay, cool. I don't know if you gave it up. Then...
Nobody's tried it. I haven't had a chance to like be disproven yet. So this is like the first big stage game where Omni-Knight Core has been getting played. I'm excited.
What if it just feeds though to like a?
If it absolutely feeds, then I will have forget this conversation ever happened.
That's fair. We can roll with that.
Skill build, item build, anything like that?
He's just a
Special about
buffer.
Omni-Knight?
I think solar crest, phase boost solar.
Even a pipe just to get the lads a bit more
maybe hood
tanky.
solar.
Okay, just same old Omni-Knight, huh?
Just run around.
But you honestly do a lot of damage yourself, and I think the shard is reasonable. I'm not even kidding. Like you bong 300 pure damage.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
4-second cooldown.
AS Monaco Gambit, they're going to be matched up against an Omni-Knight here. They desperately need this win. They're going to be able to check it out with Moxie and Purge.
Well, once upon a time, Phantom Assassin and Omni-Knight were one of the dynamic duos, and we're finally going to see an Omni-Knight again and a PA in the game. Tell me about this, Purge. What do you know?
That should be interesting to see. Yeah, Omni-Knight has been, outside of the fact where he got really popular as a 5 for a period of time, he's been a little bit unpicked for a long period of time, but I'm happy to see him get thrown into the game again. He should be very survivable in the off lane. His raw HP is pretty high, so like dealing with Joke Spin, it's like heals are a great way to deal with it because Joke just does a huge amount of damage, but past that, Joke has issues in the laning stage. So Omni should be very survivable there between Heavenly Grace and Purification.
All right, so yep, yeah, but Brame won with it.
Might wish to recap your last move.
A lot of fun to watch the instant realization that there is indeed ward over here. It's like, yeah, he just waits.
He holds it.
It's like, hey, you want this? Yeah.
He wanted to get that free damage in on puck with the extra hit toss, so that was cool.
Calculated.
The all-knowing one guides me.
Another taunt for you to enjoy, Purge.
This one doesn't bother me as much, I guess.
Really? This one is like way worse. It's all the noise. It's loud. Yeah.
Surrender to the omniscience.
Interesting. Learning a lot about you today. A little bit more damage here on no one.
The battle's starting.
So is Rim. Didn't go for this. But okay. Definitely safer. Probably make his way towards the top lane now. Queuing up for fast boots. Very good against Jug. See, he picked up a Basie, so a lot of mana spam will be happening there.
They'd always want to fly, not have items. I see that.
Instead of Bottle Rush. No.
Okay, all right. For some reason, I thought I didn't see anything. For some reason, that's good. I mean, we've yet to see a really successful or just rushing up the bottle.
Yeah, it used to work. Well, I don't know if I like the way the tech or the selects the tech, but anyway, so let's do the whole suicide thing. You used to be able to suicide before your bottle continuously. On suicide cooldown, it was very valuable. Not so much anymore. Now it's just probably weak. Roger, normal pull stuff here. He's got the camp with a sentry, so I see Seneko denied some time here, but he'll miss the first one. Everything normal so far?
Yeah, it's a pretty quiet game. And again, the the side of AS Monaco, they do want to play fairly quick and up tempo this game. Have that Crystal Maiden who's going to be able to also enable them with the Arcane Aura. So a little bit of extra mana early on always feels pretty nice. But I mean, there's not much that this Crystal Maiden can really do to Roger on this Nyx Assassin right now. Occasionally, tossing out the Frostbite, but not great at trading here.
The Frostbite, like the time it took for her to turn around Frostbite and run away, it's like Roger was already moving again. It does not feel very good here. And CM is generally just not picked very much right now as a support for various reasons. I mean, Clarity's did get nerfed recently, so a little bit extra mana is not terrible. But I don't know, does Center really need extra mana? Not really. I mean, it'd be nice for like Puck, I guess, and Jug a bit, but I'm curious to see how it works out. It's I guess, against somebody like PA, that's not bad. Attack speed reduction and frostbite can be good, but I'm not really on CM right now, but it'll make it look good.
A little bit of a stomp down here coming from Afterlife, just trying to harass a bit. Nothing too wild. So with the Crystal Maiden shard now, right? So it makes so she's able to run around with the ultimate. It's no longer channeled, if you're saying correctly, right?
Yes, that's right.
So,
yeah, you can basically slap the shard, and when you use your ultimate, it's just on, and then you can continue casting spells using items. You just run really slow.
So, I mean, it's hard, right? Because it is Position 5 Crystal Maiden. It's not like she's, rolling in the cache unless she gets, like, Philosopher's Stone or something to that effect. Yeah. But that is, of course, a solution. We heard the panel actually talking about the fact that you got Spike Carapace on the Nyx Assassin to try to interrupt any sort of, Crystal Maiden Ultimate, or, the fact that have other ways to really stop it if it is, without the shard. But you also have an Omni Knight who's going to negate the physical damage, but the magic will still come in handy for sure.
Yeah. Basically, I just don't really see it being a thing this game. Like the ultimate counter, because if any of the things that you use can interrupt it, Avalanche is very good against it. It's kind of cool, but I don't know.
Radiant's courier
From
just
like
got
a
killed.
position perspective, I just don't see it being useful.
This is a nice little snipe there. They take the range health away from the EA. That definitely
Mid lane or something. Those killing between Courier is mid right now. He sort of like got the ring of health from his side of the map.
Maybe, and it just took a strange, strange path. Bounty round's gonna fight Iceberg. And it feels so strange that we have all these runes on the map and we're just not seeing like a lot of contestation, I guess.
Yeah, those there's just so many of them, and that it kind of becomes a struggle at times to commit to them. Ooh,
Radiant's middle tower could use some
I'm
help.
pretty happy about that, but there's a little bit of an open here in the top lane. Put out harass over onto Ramses.
It's a solution. Like if he spends on you, you can heal yourself, and you can increase your raw FP with Heavenly Embrace and get regen out of it. So it just offsets the spend damage. So even though he will be taking a lot of harassment, this guy's as dangerous.
And just continuing to trade a little bit with the damage in the mid lane.
Denied.
I think too wild going on for the time being. I think we're gonna start seeing some real action popping off here, Perch.
Puck hitting is going to be one part. A Tiny could potentially roam really effectively.
So you figure
Omni Slash. When the Luke gets sick, that's another kill opportunity. Before that, it looks a little bit mild.
that was what I was trying to figure out. Do we have, any sort of really aggressive potential coming out from the lane as if before the ultimates come out? But it does seem to be very much the, just working and very dependent on these mid laners to make some sort of a rotation for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, Thor doesn't really expect any kills in his lane anyway, though. Like, it's just not something you do. It just made mistakes. It should be fine. So it's totally normal, though. Nyx get into the game a bit later too. So far, though, PA's got much more sets than Jug. Maybe not as many as they did a moment ago. Ramsey's pressuring Dream a bit, going for the max purification build. I was a little unsure what skill build could go for, but one will give the best ability for Raptor.
Bottom lane, always want to fly, is ticking down to these same spirits, and it is going to be a Murph who gets the first blood. We can also get a little bit of harass. I think they're very happy, though, with the kill support. We'll get too greedy here. Got some harass, and the Dream Coil does get used over in the river as Roger does tank it up. But now Iceberg, no one starting to blink away a little bit. They'll get the double Nova off. It's low. Go, use the illusory orb. I don't think that Puck really wants to show up there. Seneko, again, tossed up into the air. It's just a matter of time. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Iceberg because body blocks are coming out from Roger, and they take their time in hitting that maiden.
Nicely done. I'm unsure why they were unable to get the kill between. Maybe a little bit scared about Spike Carapace or something, but another kill, evening things up. There's some pressure to spot him, though.
He's fine. He's got a Chris dive. Doesn't even use it. Look at that. That's how sure he was that he was fine in that situation.
Yep. So almost got his Vanguard just a minute gold away. And so that means PA's ability to get a kill in this lane is on here, but that's fine. Oh, nice. Ember on the mid lane. I like that.
doing a little bit of dive. Go nearby. They do manage to take it down the over on the side with nice D-ward. Roger, considering going going to that.
Right there. Just pressing his button 8 times.
It looks like
TP bottom from Tiny in a good position.
Yes, he is. Yep. They've got the avalanche waiting here. No, not going to be able to go this back just yet. The fourth coming out from B2 Afterlife going there. Toss up, and they do manage to burst down Afterlife. Lane, oh, Rems is just tanking the Omni Slash. The opportunity presented itself. Dream took it, so. Found a nice pick off in the bottom lane, but they did end up losing the offlaner here. Give a kill over score.
I'm surprised I was able to get a kill. I thought Ramsey's I was still just about everything, but he's got last sets now by about 10 or 15, so that's a big moment for AS Monaco Gambit.
Gets silent. Snake here, so this time around they will be able to get the kill on Roger.
Not bad.
Yeah, the top lane though, exactly what you said, you know, the fact that we aren't going to see any real kill potential until the Jug gets the Omni Slash online, and so, you know, it's exactly what ended up happening, despite the fact that he does have so much kill and has a lot of solutions here.
To the omniscience.
Yep, yeah, he does. He didn't have enough mana for his ultimate. It looked like he's still in a skill point, but if he had if he does the ultimate, he could have traded that out for the Omni Slash, but it doesn't work before. That said, though, Iceberg got 2 kills. He's really close to Link. This is going to change it. This is like the moment that all Tiny's want that player quickly, and then you move around the map, helping get kills on the map. And one really nice thing about the AA, like they talked on the panel, is that it's going to be very effective at killing these tanky offlane heroes. Centaur has to be worried about rotations, even with Vanguard does not protect too much against magic damage. It's just raw HP and physical damage block. So you gain where A has like level 6 twice plus, and you can magic damage by 50% without this vortex. Like Tiny absolutely kills Tor with a little bit of help.
We already saw him there get the early on with that rotation, so definitely, you know, while we say that Centaur is very, very powerful, very tanky, they do have some nice solutions dealing with him in this game.
Which is rare. There's like literally no games of the Centaur. Doesn't seem he can be pressured once he gets Vanguard, but this is the double edge as well, just so he can speed a little bit more in the laning stage. Kind of a build. Ram sitting top, Iceberg sitting top. Still no blink dagger, about 200 away.
No one is creeping. Does walk right into the Tiny, and they have followed this time around with that silence. They're trying to buy a little bit more for the average and the Guardian Angel, but quite enough to save him as Emergent finds kill. Now Iceberg should be able to. Boy.
He's out.
Woo.
The Dream Coil was effective, but the Avatos was able to catch the guys in. They ended up killing Phoenix. No, he wasn't dead, so no egg was possible. We had the big ulti there, absolutely saving Tiny's life. And while Ramsey's died, pretty good considering the counter rotation. Tiny's back on the map now with Blink Dagger. Here it is one more time. Spotted, Dream Coil, locked to nukes south as well. He couldn't react quite yet. Went the heal first. And the ulti more than enough to offset the damage output, so he just TPs away. Frostbite's gone at that point, and just ends up being Ramsey's sacrifice himself.
That was so close.
The V-Tune just killed the carry, by the way.
Oh,
that's a big deal.
That is 228 damage for the coup de grace. My goodness.
Structures.
Huge one, huge kill.
Not
I didn't
much
see what
good's
happened. I was
happening
watching
to
the
Radiant's
back.
bottom tower.
We're gonna need a playback of the other one now. Just do the playbacks and playbacks.
This is what it's like to do for the man. You just like miss something, so you go back and have to watch out, and you haven't paid attention to the live game for a bit. Okay, it was Iceberg, really.
Yeah, it was the setup of the vortex and everything.
It's misleading. Interesting Ice Blast here. I think he thought Iceberg was going in his way through.
Dream Coil's gonna get used though again over on the next pass, and he's silenced. Couple more clicks. They a little bit of time there, but this coming out from Dream will ensure that he goes down. And pressure over on the lane.
That's gonna make no one's next fight a little bit damage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Everybody though.
They want this tower. They want this advantage. They want to make sure they've got pressure. Again, this is the draft that they're playing. It has to move fast. They have to be very efficient. Iceberg, though, getting into position. Merchant's already teleported out, so take down the tower.
Ooh, well, that one's so big by Snake. It to interrupt. Blink Dagger actually through top. Aiming for the back line.
Oh, he just can't catch a break here, too. He loses the arcane rune.
Lost the tower.
Yeah.
Really nicely done by Seneko to save Puck's life there. If not for that, would probably disable follow-up kill there.
Sounds like we have a on the hunt, but they also have the sentry down, so gonna have to go and hunt elsewhere. In fact, he's going top, and he is gonna run into this Phoenix. It's also here though. Enough of data with the impale follow up. They do a nice blast, but doesn't quite connect. The spike gets though will slow down immersion, and I don't think they have quite enough damage there, as it looks like now. They're just on the back foot. They're trying to run away. Can they find V2 in time? That was a question. Oh, he's going to be able to go a little bit more. He's left behind here. Egg is going to come out. Roger turning around. He starts to give a couple of these clicks. Not going to be able to do anything. Oh, Ramsey's done with the Guardian Engine. It's not enough. He collects the kill. Egg goes off on the sidelines. Roger, just one little Roger alone can't take down an Egg.
Kind of weird for Roger to hit the egg there, but either way, Guardian Angel comes out, but the Maelstrom damage is popping off the jug does magic damage, goes right through that physical immunity, and that is what Dark's got heroes there. V2 did barely escape, or didn't get vision of him, so they weren't able to get the dream off re-duking him. But ultimately lose 2 heroes now. That's the 3rd death for Ramsey. 0-3-1, playing from behind. Not the worst, but what happens is you just kind of become a support eventually, and that doesn't feel very good network-wise.
All right, well, a smoke coming out on the side of Na'Vi. They are hoping to possibly sort of a pick off, maybe put up a little bit of vision as well. Iceberg doing the charge here, always a fly tailing behind. They get a scan off. They realize that something's going on. You can see Afterlife immediately crossing back to his side of the river. Getting some vision in place, Seneko. Spot the side here. They've got a haste over on Afterlife. Moving very quickly. Doesn't stampede up just yet. Might be able to go and collect. Don't always want to fly. No, last second. He's able to teleport out. Very close.
Yeah, they get the reward though. They just invaded. They're going to be looking for stuff like that. On the bright side, V-Tune, excuse me, has Battlefield already. So he just cleared a bunch of stacks, Ancient and Large Camp, pushed out the top lane. He's doing great. So probably similar to this game is what we'll see.
Link also now picked on the puck, so it's going to make these initiations perhaps a little bit easier and also make it much harder to kill him as well. He's going to have to do a lot of scouting in order to help him down, but does place the ward over here. Spots out Dream taking the stack. Surprised that they're not going to try to punish him for this, but they do have a smoke over here on the side of AS Monaco Gambit. So
I mean, it's difficult. He's so deep. He is not felt quite as strong as I was hoping he would be, considering his start here. He's going to bring smoke.
And forward over on the Iceberg with the silence. They use the Duke and Coil to stop here from Afterlife, the spin suit. Iceberg will fall.
You know, that happens sometimes when you walk high ground. And the ward there, he thought he was going to be moving into a safe place, but there was smoke. The easy grab, or at least a safer grab, so.
Well, definitely felt.
Killed.
Yeah, I was going to say, it felt like Roger, he placed up that ward quite a while ago and was just kind of waiting for +1. But again, smoke making a huge difference that particular night. Definitely don't want your mid-tiny getting picked off like that. Roger, though, finds it open here. Doesn't have any help, though. You
He's moving by speed, so he can kill now.
Yeah, he's the Omni Slash, and there's nothing to jump. Yes, at the last second, he jumps over to Ult on a fly. Slow down just a little bit. The Phoenix, Icarus dive coming in. Fries him up just a tiny bit. They will re-engage a little bit here as they get the avalanche off. It doesn't feel like a hard committal.
Hard not to go for that as Dream now. You don't want to Omni-Slash a PA almost ever, because just he goes invisible for a fraction of a second and then Omni-Slash ends. But he saw Blur break on the PA as he approached, so he knew he had an opportunity there. If he had gone for it right away, he actually would have killed him soon. But because he hesitated a bit, he was able to close up to his ally to jump to him. So it's one of those tough decisions where, like, a bad player absolutely would Omni-Slash instantly and lost and gotten the kill, but a good player has to hold back for moments like that, and as a result he went half in and it was a waste. Either way, they're
Radiant's
still
top
both performing
tower
really
has
good.
looked better.
So it's not that detrimental to gold advantage to AS Monaco Gambit. The Jug should skate fine against the PA in this game in
Radiant's
comparison to the
top
previous
tower
ones,
is under
especially when
attack.
Jug helps out the team
Radiant's
with the
top
healing
tower
ward.
has fallen.
They're definitely neck and neck right on the side of the course. A little bit ahead here for V2, of course, but I feel like we've yet to see a big full-on fight break out between these two teams. It's a lot of just making space for the course to get things done.
Yeah, getting little pickoffs, which is kind of surprising. The games, at least these matches so far today, have been a little bit farm heavy and slow, but for lack of trying, Iceberg has been trying to get kills, but it's
Yes.
opponents are just shutting it down with nice work. Breaks this to
Well, breaks the jump on the back line, though, with the silence. Always want to fly. Won't fall, but over on the side. Roger getting tossed up. Land on Snako. The kill, the dagger. Icarus dive coming out for the Phoenix as he goes in over onto the high ground. Great positioning for this egg. Dreamcore's going to land over onto 2 as Iceberg tries to throw in the egg. Will indeed pop. Iceberg slow line tries to bottle through. Eventually, he will fall to Dream as the hunt is on now from Monaco Gambit. They're looking to grab any sort of stragglers, but they're not quite finding anyone as they do manage to snap up a regen rune over onto V-Tune, and the rest of them just trying to leave.
This should make my
They
life
definitely
easier.
can fall to get a kill. I like this. He controls his ward. That way, if he sees his opponents, he can jump on them. Like, he could definitely kill Phoenix right now, for example.
Especially when the ice blast lands like that. There's a puck. Snako's here as well. That'll be the jump forward. They want to just get rid of immersion. They'll be able to do it. Stop coming out, though. Perhaps they've just gotten a bit too now. Go jump over to Roger. Need to be able to close this gap. As you can see, the puck trying his best, trying to do some body blocks. Not going to be able to do it as they do manage to see Roger. More body blocks coming out. They've got the freeze, they've got the vision, they've got the dust on top of that. The leap forward from Afterlife, and down goes Roger.
Gone so worse for V2 in there. I love that moment where like you're an ancient stack and the exact moment your opponents approach you. So then rather than running for the hills, you have to go pick up those neutral items and then ends up killing Phoenix. They get the word on that board. So kind of be there. It ends up working out, and then Nyx thing and runs towards it. Yeah, the ice blast spawning out Phoenix. He has to grab the neutral items, and he's like, "Uh-oh, this isn't good." But luckily with that vision, he's able to jump directly on the Phoenix, get that kill after he'd used dive. And Roger, halfway through this, basically just commits to trying to body block. He's just flat the centaur to make sure that he can't blink. And that it's able to use double up.
Yeah, he will fall again. We get another nice Icarus over the back left, though. The triangle. Sunrise doing so much. Going down, and so does Immersion. Roger trying the best he can to throw out the Impales. Not going to be able to quite do it as Afterlife. Chasing after Ramsey's here. Just land not the double edge. No one. He's going to go join back. Again, these body blocks have been the name of the game here. Over outside, Roger just barely able to crawl away, sitting with 60-something hit points.
It's really hard to play Tiny if you're not the guy that gets to initiate. If he gets Dream Coiled like this and Jug walks up spinning, you're about to die, you have to throw your spells out. I think the thing that's really hurting not far is that their team is great at initiating. Nyx Assassin is initiating. So is Tiny. So is following up on those two guys. But I just feel like we haven't seen it all game so far. It's always not being back to it. And it's so in control. They were just the ones initiating.
I mean, they can blast off in the pit, so we'll push Gambit back for a moment, but I have a feeling to go right back in just a moment. You have to be careful. I would love to sit in. Hell of an match. Put the ice blast on it. Vortex gets brought down for a little bit of vision.
Get ward dewarded too. That will help a bit. And get a little prepared. The Vortex is scary. They have perfect vision now. So much easier.
I mean, perhaps they can like smoke and make some throw wrap, but
yeah, I think they just don't want to. They don't want to gable here. They're in a good place right now, so they don't have to deal with anything that's overly aggressive or dangerous. We've got big team ultimates. They just don't want to get like burst out. Like the warriors done in a burst. Like
oh, that is a great stun into burst. No longer have to worry about Afterlife joining in, as the rest of the team is smoked up behind, but. Think necessarily they don't want to go in on this.
So much.
They do have
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
I don't think they like that they're losing this, but I'm not sure they have a lot of choices. Perhaps maybe the puck make a cheeky play.
Dire's bottom
The Fire Spirit tossed out Roger. Again, they get the egg, but it's gonna be the actually just off that Aegis. Egg will go off.
Okay.
Dire
Nicely done by
structures are
Puck
fortified.
to kill it, but he ends up dying as a result. So probably not worth the trade. Second, here is another kill for free.
Trying to get the D wards up. What were the chances?
Terrible. They're just respawning, right? And,
Right.
Dire have
it's got a
fortified their
kill,
structures.
so it was going to be aggressive. The whole team was going to be aggressive on the map. He's blurred, so he couldn't see him
Dire's
coming.
middle tower isn't going to last
Now
long.
AS Monaco Gambit on the back foot for a bit. As a result of that, he just definitely more valuable than here. Yeah,
Dire's middle tower
for the
just went
rune.
down.
Snake goes like, you feel like I died like that.
Just a casual.
Oh,
Yeah.
incredible how well he casted over there with one hand, but for him.
Sometimes, Crystal Maiden player, you're used to this, right? Like you're used to always kind of being cannon fodder, unfortunately. And hey, at least
Get blown up.
you're the one who got blown up, and not your face, Purge.
Who was he blown up? Yeah, you're right.
Looks like we are going to have a couple people running into one another over here, but no vision currently. So I feel like needs to be very, very careful. No one, of course, over on the side, though. They'll spot out Roger. Immediately, the spike here has to stop forward. One showing himself, but immediately coming out from ice. Sunray will be able to clean up over onto Roger. And when it's still alive, he gets off that dream coil. They do manage to take down Afterlife, but it's not looking super right here on the side for AS Monaco Gambit. Oh, V2 hoping he can get his hands on no one who's trying very hard. He's trying to side. He's still alive, but it's not going to be for much longer. As he blings up into the side. Do they have the vision? Do they know? They don't.
Dire's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
And see, right up the first 3 times, and that's the only reason no one got initiated on. He even noticed that he had the debuff on him. That's why PA was the jump left. Good attempt by Always Want to Fly, but unfortunately a little bit too far away. Tiny combo does not stun for a very long time. The Ice Blast wasn't able to get there in
Dire's
time,
bottom
as it
tower is under attack.
staying alive. Very scary though.
Very close.
Yep.
For sure. I believe we just got an active though complete for the jug. So that is going to come into play here. Yeah.
Oh, really nice. Protect him some stuns while initiating. Oh,
There's a lot of people over there, V-Tune. Just hugging this woods right outside. Alright. It's looking pretty scary. You can sitting top of the net worth. You can see how well their burst strategy is working out for them, and it's starting to get a little bit later, which is always a little bit scary for the side of Gambit.
They're scaled pretty well in various ways, though. I think both teams have a lot of good strengths going for them right now. Just to be more and more of a monster against PA as the game continues. Whether he wants to go MKB or Scotty or something like that. I mean, he's already Maelstrom. Effective against evasion. Just gives you like 40% of the true strike that MKB does. So like going for full upgrade is usually just not worth it. To buy MKB instead. Most of ships to do it, depending on the skill, the talent that he goes for. He goes blur. Yeah.
Radiant structures have been snow fortified.
All right, now looks like Dream is considering picking up
Radiant's
the
bottom tower's got problems.
shard for one of his next
Are
items.
those cracks in Dire's top tower?
They're still putting pressure down here on the bottom. They've already lost the top, and keeps that pushed in a little bit. Navi's not too concerned about oh no, really making their way down. V2 looking for the opening. They'll use a stampede to run away. No one, of course, is stuck over here with Ramses. So it's gonna throw out the elusive orb, try to dodge away. V2 is on the hunt. They don't have any great solutions of being able to find this puck though right now, so it's gonna be able to walk away.
Virtually no way he dies here. He's got this as his first major item after Blink to protect against this burst from Tiny plus AA. So he's safe right now. He's gonna have less offensive potential. His goal is basically to get a good Dream Coil on the right heroes and lock them down to buy time for Jug and some of the other heroes to deal damage. I think they're gonna struggle a bit damage mid game, but him dying is just more realistic. So he's gotta be careful.
Right. Pressure being placed over on the mid tower. Oh boy. All right, so Nego just took one step outside of the state and he just got blown up. Afterlife trying to do some counter initiation here, but they actually commit. They go in. They do have a couple of these little down. These just gets tanked by the creep, which is a bit of a disaster for Dream. It's hoping for a little bit better here. No one's still hiding in the tree line.
For the Swift slash first to initiate,
Yeah.
like feel things out, and it looked good. He's all right. Let's keep slashing. And he jumps all the way over to the neutrals instead. Really fortunate there for him.
No, need to be careful. They do have a set for death, so they can see Roger on his way over. By Carapace, the lob. Let's get sleep over onto Roger, and the Sunbird does a decent amount of damage out. There's a spin coming out from Dream Beat, jumping pretty far there, but not quite going to find any more kills after Roger falls. Snake Eye bought back during that too.
The second death in that engagement looked pretty scared for the puck. He getting caught by the therapist, but the Aeon Disc kept him alive and allowed them to squeeze out the team fight advantage without no one dying. So item absolutely paying off here. Gonna finish in next up, but one's still struggling on mana regen a little bit here.
Refill this bottle, that'll help at the very least, but they look forward immediately. Oof! That is one bird.
And the Mindbreaker, actually, the perfect item for getting little kills here. There's that Swift slash. He's like, look at all these heroes that can Omni slash.
Oh, no.
And Ramses is there too, and it just, it was stuck from the neutrals, unfortunately. Would it have been amazing if it kept hitting heroes? I'm not so sure, honestly, but they were all pretty full HP. Didn't really burn any cooldowns. Probably would have been fine, but you know, maybe they would have forced Guardian Angel out of it or something like.
I'm surprised that they committed on that, because it almost felt like a little bit of a hesitation when it first opened up, and then like the leap forward coming out of your Jug as he just gets dragged further and further in by these heroes.
Here I am.
I was a little surprised. I wasn't sure if they necessarily wanted to commit like that.
Yeah, who's a little dangerous for her, but you know, his Omni Slash did a lot of damage out, but most of the heroes on the Navi side are pretty armor relatively, especially with Omni back him up.
Away.
All right. Well, EA making work at the bottom to get rid of these exterior towers.
Radiant's top tower
Use this pressure.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower always did get short shrift.
Definitely feel that pressure again. Currently, they're not sitting too in the standings either. So definitely want to prove themselves here.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
V-Tune changing his mind on his neutral item, goes back for the Paladin's doesn't want the Mindbreaker anymore, and that's because he's next. So Ampy is going to Natus or like massive fights is going to be so useful for him when he plays fight does that.
So negative armor.
Illusion.
All right. Gambit grouping up a little bit over here on the side. He make a play on V-Tune here. Get the stomp to double it down the slash. Oh no, but they have the Guardian Angel. So they'll immediately use the Stampede and run away. They stream coil up Iceberg over here. Hard compounds, but they do. They actually go right back in again. Afterlife is looking for another victim here. Not going to be able to quite find it though, because he does get frozen into place at Iceberg, even though they're so nice. Not enough damage to take down the Tiny.
Good choice. He was going to do this almost right away, but just kept running. And he ended up staying alive.
Yeah. So, another smoke coming out from the side of Gambit. I feel like they're getting a little desperate to find just some sort of a pickoff, trying to find one person that they can actually take out of the equation.
A little harder for them to get these bullet kills for sure with puck times.
Just on Ramses here, and he's got his KB though, so just immediately pops it, runs. His Heavenly Grace on there as well, had a glimmer cape, everything to just keep him alive. It was like they were expecting. Roger. Stand side by side here with him. He's got a lot of information, but no one's already blinked away.
Under attack.
Yeah, to read the Winning Rift there, he's a little slow.
Radiant's middle
But he walks right back into Roger, yeah. Put a little bit of damage down. Waiting with the Spy Carapace and do anything else tricky here. I split up and hot. And over on Dream. Oh, wait, actually, no one has already zipped away. This V-Tune goes right back hitting creep.
Both lineups have a little bit of issues of chain stunning, and as a result, their opponents are getting counterplaced. Like they're really close to being successful or just being misses. The anti-disc again, saving puck's life.
No sorceries
multiple times. They're really clutch up the blood, but as a result, they're having damage issues a little bit. They're having burst issues, so it's not conventional for killing solo semi-evasive heroes like PA or Omni or whatever else. But they're both still farming. PA way dwarfing now though. Satanic's finished. He's picked up Titan Clover as well. So he's got BKB, he's got the Satanic, he's got tons of status resistance. Looking good for
Get your hands on them. And on top of that, you got just completed Assault Cuirass. This time it's gonna be the Radiant who take the kill on Roche and also at Aegis. Agadam Shard picked up.
takes Phantom Knives.
I mean, we saw how strong it was last time.
PK, really good. It's going to be great against Centaur and good against Dog too.
They've been placed over on the Tiny. It's spotting out the movement. The way that they're playing around B2 there. There's a courier over here at the secret.
Someone better help Dire's middle tower.
Nope. They'll fortify the courier. Look at Roger, though. He's on the hunt. Wait, just takes oh no to the blitz knuckles, and yeah. So takedown always want to fight, at least in the meanwhile. So do find a little consolation prize.
Kind of a weird place for his courier to be, but it was hanging out there waiting to get enough money to buy the demon so that he can finish MKB and have true perfect solutions against PA, more or less.
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away.
Yeah, pressure in the high ground. B2 knows he can get away with it. Oh, he saw it running over there. Okay, that's why.
Oh yeah. They briefly thought over by the secret shop, and then they watched it just go right across. Roger in good position. In fact, Roger again in a very nice position here. He immediately sees no one will just hide, but the leap forward here from Beat, an absolute slicing dream into Ribbons has those knives. It's not looking great. The back can they finish up now? There's the big egg. All grouped around this egg, though they don't seem to care. They don't have a magic damage to do anything with this Guardian Angel, and they go right back in after the turbo kill now for V2. They want more. Can they find it though? Is the question. As the rest of them just back into their fountain.
But that's they jump in instantly, get a couple kickoffs,
and they just
call. Wow. There's no back on Jug. The game just ended. And with Jug being dead like that, that was minimum 2 racks, possibly more. Maybe a little bit of an early GG call, but really well played by Navi. I think things were definitely a little bit sloppy in the mid game, but the laning stage went solid. They just didn't quite have the perfect heroes for these AA pickoffs, but minimum it forced Puck down to an item path that made his impact less, and that was certainly valuable, even if that imposition was good.
That's always nice to get a win on your birthday, so Ramses has to be pretty happy about that. We also
Natus was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down. Below me, bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack and tight once more. Our boats were lost, there were only 4, and still that whale did go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew, and all. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away.